All right, so here's some cool history. So first of all, I'm in Madrid. I guess this is still considered the city center. I think right there is the cathedral. And if you walk down that street and turn to the left, you'll see the palace, right? But this little wall and this little tiny memorial, if you will, okay, which a lot of people don't know, including myself. I'm still kind of learning the history, but I knew bits and pieces of the history. But it's kind of cool to see, and read and do a little bit more research. But I'm in the land of the Moors, right? And Moors was a term to describe black people. You know how today they call us black, but before we were considered Negroes, and then of course African Americans is the newest term. Before that we were Hebos, all kind of different names that kind of throw us off our history, so to speak. And Moors was just a term that they used during that time to describe a dark-skinned person, right? Well, apparently the Moors actually founded Madrid, and it was called Mayrit, Mayrit. And then, of course, the European Spaniards that eventually conquered the Moors conquered Mayrit and just changed the name to Madrid, which is what it's known today. And Mayrit was the capital of the Moors' land in Spain. I don't know if it wasn't called Spain during the time, but it was the capital. So the Spaniards, when they conquered the Moors, they just kept Madrid or Mayrit as the capital, which is where I'm currently now, and just changed the name. So anywho, but this was owned and ran by black people who were called the Moors. Now, there's some more information here. It looks like the king at the time, Emir Muhammad, right? Now, they considered the Moors to be Muslim religion, but my understanding is, yes, maybe some of the Moors or black people during the time of their rule of Spain were maybe considered Muslim, but not all, right? It's just like black people in America today. Some of us are Muslims, some of us are Christians, some of us are Hebrew Israelites, some of us are, we fall into all kind of categories of the quote unquote religion. So it's not I'm not so much concerned about the religion as I am more concerned about the nationality. So, but the reason why I bring up the fact that they were considered Muslims is because that's the reason that history says that they went to war with the Moors, was, these, what is it called? Reconquista, right? Or the Holy Wars. It's the wars against the Muslims and the Christians, and the Europe nations are the Christians, and they driving the Muslims out. But I don't think that's the case. I think that's just a way of history covering up the true identity and the true reasoning of going to war with the black people. Wasn't based on religion. It was just based on biblical prophecies that would happen, right? I'm not gonna get into that with this video, but I'm gonna leave off on this video with this, that there were a lot of blacks who were considered Jews during the time of the relocation of the blacks out of Spain and into West Africa. So not so much Muslims, but more so of Jew nationality. And I'm not talking like Judaism, which is the religion. I'm talking about the actual nationality, being from the tribe of Judah. Okay. Anywho, this wall is what remains of I believe the kingdom of the Moors, or their, I don't know. I'm not. Let me see what this says. This wall is okay. Yeah, it appears that this wall is what is left of their kingdom, or I guess maybe their. I'm gonna read this anywho, but this is pretty interesting stuff, man. This is history, and it's pretty dope. Peace.